I remember in 1991, if I remember correctly, Mike Tyson was scheduled to fight Michael Spinks for the heavyweight championship of the world. And Mike Tyson was furious because there was a delay in Michael Spinks coming out to the ring, so much so that he reportedly punched a hole in the wall. He was that damn furious. Mike Tyson had no idea that what held up Michael Spinks wasn't some gimmick or anything. Michael Spinks was in his locker room crying, according to numerous reports. Crying.
What's going on, guys? I hope y'all having an awesome weekend so far. So we got to react to more of this post Kamala Harris CNN interview calamity, catastrophe, because now we got Stephen A. Smith over here, and he's basically having a meltdown because he knows that this interview was a disaster. Okay, it's not substantive, and even though there's a lot of people who are like it was amazing, like that's what some P-brains are saying, Stephen A. knows that this isn't enough. The answers weren't strong. She has a debate coming up. No matter how much Trump derangement you have, it's not enough. He knows, okay? He knows. But a lot of dummies out there, they don't know. They feel like this is in the bag for whatever stupid reason. Like they can, if you could believe that Kamala Harris is a genuine person, or you could believe that she's a black person, you could probably believe any dang thing. So without further ado, let's go ahead and react to what he has to say. I'm gonna try to get through it with minimum interruption because it's kind of long, but no promises.
You know, Kamala, I ask one simple question. Do y'all want to hug and sing kumbaya to one another, or do you want to win the damn election? Because you want to look at me, Rashawn, when I'm talking to you. If you want to win the election, listen to me, America. Listen to me. All of that rhetoric y'all talking don't mean a damn thing, including the text that I just read to you on the air. Sit up, Sherry, when I'm talking to you, please. I got stuff on my mind. Honor free, I can't read that. You're right like a kindergarten person. Come on, man, I can't see that. Here's the deal. Listen to me, y'all. Listen good. We trying to win an election. And I don't say we like I'm some liberal because I'm a registered independent.
Stephen A. said he's voted for every single Democrat like his whole life. He's never voted for a single Republican, so that's cap.
Say we, people who don't want Trump to win. You bring up all of those presidents and all of their sit downs with vice presidents. Did any of them avoid a primary? Was any of them vice president when the president, the incumbent, literally had the path paved for him and everybody was moved out of the way so he couldn't be exposed for being cognitively declining? Did that happen with Barack Obama and Joe Biden? Did that happen with Trump and Pence? Did that happen with Hillary and Tim Kaine? Did that happen with Clinton and Gore?
Nope, sure didn't.
Did that happen with HW? I mean, think about it for a second here. And Mr. Dan Quayle himself, I had brain lock for a second. Pay attention. None of these people avoided a primary. None of these people were people that you didn't see debating candidates for their own party, where the people selected them. That did not happen with Kamala Harris. That did not happen before June 27th when Joe Biden showed up in a debate. And as Anthony Scaramucci, showing up on News Nation, being interviewed by Chris Cuomo, pointed out, and I quote, during the debate, President Joe Biden looked like a dude standing in a nursing home waiting for a nurse to feed him applesauce. That is a quote.
I haven't heard that.
And if Joe Biden looked that way in June 27th, what was he a month earlier? Or a month before that? Or a month before that? When those debates could have taken place. It was nowhere. We didn't see it because the Democrats greased the skids so he didn't have to face competition. These are facts. These are facts.
Steve, if you know that, then why the hell are you so staunchly Democrat? They clearly are corrupt, but you support him anyway. The other day, he said Kamala Harris had his vote regardless. And I'm like, the dude, why you still talking? Why you still criticizing? Like, what is he? Stephen A. done been criticizing Joe Biden and Kamala Harris for like the last 2 years straight. And they still got his support no matter what. So it's like, why you still talking, Steve?
So if that is the backdrop, and you have somebody like Trump who's very, very short on substance when he's articulating his message and defers to insults and one-liners and doing all of these kind of things, I believe you're playing right into his hands. You can't see that? You, Kamala Harris, you're the vice president of the United States. You are a former senator, a former state attorney general in the second largest state in the region, in the republic. You're a former prosecutor. This man has been indicted. He's been convicted on 34 felony counts. He's been impeached twice. He's lost civil cases. And oh, by the way, he gets grilled at the National Association for Black Journalists, and his immediate response is, it's a very horrible question, the worst question that could have ever been asked. You didn't even say hello. How are you? This is what he does. He goes up against Marco Rubio. He called him Little Marco. He said Jeb Bush, low energy. Carla Fiorini, she's a 4. Teasing Chris Christie about his weight.
Fat pig, remember that?
Called Ron DeSantis Ron DeSanctimonious. The man comes up with one-liners that are catchy, and as a result, people gravitate to that. They pay very little attention to whatever substance he may have or is lacking, and he wins anyway. And he doesn't even do it by winning the popular vote. He lost the popular vote in 2016. He lost it again in 2020. You, Kamala Harris, what the hell are you doing? I'm not saying what are you doing as in right now. The strategy thus far is fine. I'm talking about moving forward.
No, the strategy is hide her in the basement. Not a good strategy, guys. Even if you think that she is bad, you got to get her out there so people can see it. Because what's going to happen is she's going to come out of the closet regardless and get exposed, and it's going to be worse. If you have her out here a lot and people are used to her, then people might kind of adjust to it, kind of how they did with Sleepy Joe. They kind of were like, like it's just kind of how Joe is. But with Kamala Harris, it looks like they're trying to hide her. It looks like they're trying to win a basement campaign. So a lot of people are not trusting it. They trusted Joe Biden's basement campaign. They remember how that went. And I don't think that they're willing to do it again. I don't think majority of Americans are willing to do it. And Kamala Harris, it was a Biden-Harris campaign. So I don't think a lot of people are just going to buy her just hiding it. Every time she comes out, she gets exposed. Not a good look.
And when you know the world is transfixed on you as the potential next president of the United States, and we're looking to see what you do, you show up with Tim Walz by your side? Really? Really? You know we were looking for you. You know we wanted to hear from you. No disrespect to him whatsoever. But ain't nobody, how many times you gonna hear that he's a school teacher and a former coach? That he gets you? How many times? We know this already. We got it. You want to talk to us about the state of affairs in Minnesota?
Hell no, he ain't gonna talk about that.
You want to talk to us about it being one of the highest tax states in the republic? You want to talk to us about whatever crime is going on there? What your positions were during the riots, et cetera, et cetera? I'm down with you. I got it. But there's millions of people who disagree. Nobody cared. You know why? They want to hear from her. And why do they want to hear from her? Because when she was the vice president, you never heard from her. And she was getting blamed for stuff that she may not have deserved to get blamed for. Well, what is it? We're blaming you for flip-flopping on fracking. Is it true? Are you? Healthcare. Has your position flip-flopped on that?
She flip-flopped on everything, Steve.
Or is it the same? They're talking about, you got surrogates out there talking about, now you're willing to support building a wall after you spoke against it. Is that true? Is it?
It is.
These are legitimate questions is all I'm saying. I'm not castigating her. I'm not casting convictions upon her or anything like that. I'm saying we want to hear from her. I don't give a damn about hearing from Tim Walz right now. He's the vice president nominee. We got it. We understand. We ain't trying to hear from him, no. We want to hear from her. Because we've been waiting to hear from you for 4 years. We want to see where you stand and why. And oh, by the way, as Teflon done as Donald Trump may be, that's with his constituents. It's not with registered independents. That's who you're trying to win over. Where you at? Ladies and gentlemen,
she's hiding.
She ain't going up against Mitt Romney, who knows his stuff. Say what you want about Ron DeSantis. He knows his stuff. She ain't going up against Nikki Haley. Whatever your positions may be, with the border wall, with inflation, with crime in Democratic cities, although there's crime in Republican-led cities too, the point is, that ain't even it. The issue is, you did this in your first press conference, Kamala Harris. You sat up there and said, believe me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type. You talked about dealing criminals, fraudsters, and, con artists. And then you said, believe me when I say, ladies and gentlemen, I know Donald Trump's type. Well, if you know his type and you're accustomed to dealing with him, why is he the one doing a bunch of interviews? Again, the strategy was fine. I'm not complaining about the strategy you employed up to this point.
What the hell are you talking about then? It's like he's literally saying that basically, why are you hiding? But he's saying, but I'm not saying that's a problem. But why are you doing it? It's like, Stephen, okay.
I'm saying be clear. That ain't going to win you the presidency. And for your first interview, and by the way, you know the code that he's using. Nod your head, Rashawn. Nod your head, Honor Free, especially you, Honor Free. Oh, especially you. All right, and you too, Bailey. All of yous. Nod your head. Is Trump, yes or no, is Trump not using codes when he points out that she's hiding? He's leaning on gender. I'm a man. I'm strong. Look at the war in Russia and in Ukraine with Russia. Look at what's going on with Israel and Palestine, in the Gaza Strip and beyond. Look at the kind of troubles that we're experiencing, whether it's North Korea, it's China, or whatever. Iran, Iraq. I mean, come on, y'all. Look at all of this. You think she's strong enough? She can't even show up to do a hard interview. I show up all the time. This is what he's doing. We all know what that is.
But is he doing something that's fraudulent? He's right. This lady's hiding her ass off, and it makes absolutely no sense. It makes you feel like she's gonna become the president, and she's gonna be hiding as well. She's gonna be hiding from Kim Jong-un, President Xi, Vladimir Putin. She's going to be hiding from them too. You can't hide. They see this. These people pay attention. Like, America is pretty much the superstar of the world. These people pay attention. They're the leaders of their respective nations. They see all of this. They see the cowardice of the party, the censorship, and all the problems. They see things getting out of control. They saw the cheating in the 2020 election. It's in the textbooks in some places that they cheated in the 2020 election. So they see everything, and they're already gearing up to determine how they're going to move forward. Like, okay, if Kamala wins, we're just going to keep doing whatever the F we want to do, and y'all probably ain't going to do nothing about it no way, except for give us more money, probably. But if Trump wins, Then they're like, oh, dang it. I guess we about to get tariffed again. I guess we about to have to do peace treaties again. That's the truth, because that's what was proven when Trump was in office versus what was proven during the Biden-Harris fraudulent administration.
You feeding into machismo. You trying to say commander-in-chief. He didn't do that to Hillary. He said a lot of things about Hillary, like crooked Hillary and stuff like that. He ain't never implied she was scared.
That's because she
never
wasn't.
implied she was running. Because Hillary Clinton was smart as a whip and know her stuff. We all know. The most qualified woman to ever run for president in this country's history. Without question. Ain't that supposed to be Kamala? HBCU grad.
It's not even close.
Prosecutor, state attorney general, senator, reigning vice president of the United States of America. Kamala Harris has all the credentials in the world to stand tall, stand straight up, and be like, yo, this is the way it's going to be. Let's get it on. And as a prosecutor and as an attorney, as somebody who knows the law, as somebody who knows a criminal when she sees them, as somebody who knows a con artist when she sees them, and all of these other things that she said about him, why is this dude the one we see? Because the Democrats are telling her, well, you know what? Something ain't broke, don't fix it. We gain this momentum, we gain this momentum, we gain this momentum. They are right about that. And I'm not disagreeing with anybody on my team who feels otherwise. Here's my point.
It's a bad strategy, my dude, because when she comes out, like with this interview, she got exposed. She's going to have a debate, going to get exposed there. If Kamala Harris was already out there getting practice, having people see her all the time, looking confident, looking strong, then even if she screws up occasionally, it will be okay. But to have her not come out, not get practice, show up and get exposed every time she shows up, it looks weak. It's a bad strategy. It's a bad long-term strategy. You got to get over the finish line in November. If you don't, it don't matter how much momentum you have right now if it doesn't last until after November 5th. Dummies.
Doesn't matter if the regular process had been followed. But because they avoided the primaries, because they were accused of greasing the skids to disguise and hide Joe Biden from the rest of us in terms of the decline that was clearly taking place. She is now the Democratic nominee without having had to have a debate, without having to experience a primary, without having to campaign. It was handed to her in the eyes of the opposition. That is what they're going to say about her.
It's true. It's not just what they're saying. It's factual.
Say what you will about Trump. He's supposed.
A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
I'm gonna leave that ad in there. That was perfect.
Supposed to be a criminal, right? He's supposed to be in jail, right? He's supposed to owe nearly $500 million, right? The bottom line is he's been the Republican nominee since 2016. And he's been through a myriad of debates. And on top of all of that, he got all of this law, these legal issues descending down upon him. And the people have spoken. The Republicans said they want him. All of them. Nobody said that about Kamala Harris until July 21st. So you don't get to just skate to the election and have a debate September 10th on ABC, and you know what, we may barely see you. Nah. Why also, ladies and gentlemen, Biden wasn't doing a bunch of interviews prior to the debate on June 27th, and then what happened thereafter with July and him stepping aside.
Cooked, exposed.
So we have a White House that hasn't been active participants in communicating with the fourth estate. spanning months while you're running this country. Nah. I want you, Kamala Harris, to go out there and whip the you-know-what of Donald Trump. That's what I want.
If she could, she would. But the fact is, she can't. She knows it. The Republicans know it. Her handlers know it. And you know it.
Because it shouldn't be that hard. Who's going to vote for him is going to vote for him. Just like the left is going to vote for you. But us independents,
us?
You can't take him. That's like Tommy Hearns or Mike Tyson getting into the ring with somebody with a glass jaw. You should be able to take them. We know they could fight too, but once they get clipped by somebody the likes of you, they supposed to fall. You prosecutor. You should be able to handle this because of him. Say Nikki Haley or somebody you're going against. This is him. Shouldn't be hard. That was my point. That is my point. And that's going to be my point until we see her campaigning the way presidential candidates normally campaign. She's got my vote.
Full stop. What you just had this whole monologue for nothing. You're saying that you're trying to be critical of her, but she's got your vote, and you can't even explain why, and you had the audacity to call yourself an independent. This guy is a clown.
Because I can't vote for him. But I don't want to vote for her just because I don't want to vote for him. I want to vote for her because she shows me she's the one.
And if she doesn't, you're still going to vote for her, so why should she?
And anything that she hasn't shown, I'm not even blaming her. I'm saying the party has paved the way and greased the skids. We can't let that continue to happen. You got to show up and earn it. I'm a sports guy. I remember in 1991, if I remember correctly, Mike Tyson was scheduled to fight Michael Spinks for the heavyweight championship of the world. And Mike Tyson was furious because there was a delay in Michael Spinks coming out to the ring, so much so that he reportedly punched a hole in a wall. He was that damn furious. Mike Tyson had no idea that what held up Michael Spinks wasn't some gimmick or anything. Michael Spinks was in his locker room crying, according to numerous reports. Crying because he had to go out there and fight Mike Tyson.
Wow.
And the promoter, Butch Lewis, that was in the locker room with him, do you know what Butch Lewis was doing? Crying with him. Crying with him. But still hugging him while crying and saying, you got to go out, champ. You got to go out there. You got to fight.
Wait a minute.
They had $13 million to get. That's a true story, according to everybody that I spoke to. And all I'm saying to y'all is, when you want something, when you want the crown, you got to go out there and fight. Because Trump is calling her out. Now, we all know that's tactical maneuvering on their part and all that stuff. I'm saying it don't matter. You Kamala Harris, honeymoon's over.
Stephen A. just actually pulled the biggest roast on Kamala Harris in history. Comparing Mike Tyson is Trump in this case. And this guy, I forget the guy's name. Whoever this guy was, he was referring to it as crying. Is Kamala like, I don't want to, no, don't make me. He's going to, pow, knock me the F out like he did Sleepy Joe. He's going to get knocked out of the race. Help me. That's what this is really about. They're definitely afraid. They saw what happened last time, and they're scared. They're like, damn, at least Joe Biden knew his foreign policy stuff. He couldn't articulate it, but he knew it. Kamala Harris don't even know it, and she can't articulate worth a damn. She's cooked. Man, I can't wait for this ABC debate. She better not pull out of this debate. I can't wait to see her destruction. I can't wait to see her not be able to walk out there because she's crying. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate you watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
You stupid! Oh, that's crazy!